Hi everybody. So today we're going to review the principles of the product and the quotient rules. So as you all remember, the product rule is simply f of x times g of x plus g of x times f prime of x. It's more commonly seen in terms of u and v. So if we want to review the first problem, as you can see we have two terms, one right here and one right here. So this will be u, this will be v, or f and g. So we have the function u, and then we take the derivative of the second function v, which would be 3x squared, and then we add the v function, and then we multiply it by the derivative of the u function. So all that's left to do is to simplify. So we take x squared and multiply it by 3x squared to get a total of 4x to the fourth, and then we add that to x cubed multiplied by 2x, which is 2x to the fourth. So then we get a total of 6x to the fourth. Then 1 times 3x squared is just 3x squared, and then lastly 6 times 2x would be 6x, and that's your derivative. So here we're going to apply some trig functions to the product rule. So we have sine x as our u and secant x as our v. So going back, u sine x times v prime, which is secant x tan x, that's the derivative of secant x. Then we add that to v, which is secant x, and u prime, which is cosine x. Now all we have to do is simplify. We can take a tangent out of this function after we distribute the sine x. So we'll have a sine x times secant x, which is sine x over cosine x, which is equal to tangent. And then we have sine x times tangent x, so we have tangent x times the tangent and sine of x. So then we just take a tangent out and we have sine x left. And now to simplify the right side, secant x is 1 over cosine x, so this is really just cosine x over cosine x, which equates to 1. So then there's our derivative. Okay, now we're starting to get into a little bit more complicated principles here. We're going to use the derivative to find the equation of the tangent and the normal lines. So we have our function here, y equals x e to the x, at x equals 1. So we want to find the tangent and normal lines at the point x equals 1. So first off, we need to find what the y value is. So by plugging in 1 for all of the x values, we get y equals 1 e to the 1, which is just e. So now we have our point 1e. Now we have to differentiate the equation x e to the x, so we'll do u v prime plus vu prime, the product rule. We have u right here, and then the derivative of e to the x is just simply e to the x. And then we add that to v, which is e to the x, times the derivative of x, which is just 1. After that, we just plug in our value of x for here to solve the derivative further. So it's just 1 e to the first plus e to the first, which simplifies to e plus e, or 2e. Now that we have the derivative, or the slope, we can start solving for the line of the tangent. So we take this derivative right here and put it into point slope form. We have our x and we have our y, so y minus y1, which is e, equals m, which is the slope which we just got, x minus x1, which is 1. We distribute the 2e, so we get 2e to 2ex minus 2e when we distribute that, and then we add over the e. So simplifying for that b value in slope-intercept form, we just have negative 2e plus e, which is just negative e. So here's our equation in slope-intercept form for the tangent line. And then, as you all know, that the normal slope is just the negative reciprocal of m. So we just take 2e, make it negative, and put it in the denominator, and here's our normal line. And that's how to find the tangent and normal lines. So as you all remember, the quotient rule is g times f prime of x minus f of x times g prime of x all over g of x squared. We normally see this as vu prime minus uv prime all over v squared, or low d high minus high d low all over low. So we'll take this first example right here. Y equals x squared minus 1 over x squared plus 1. So first our low, x squared plus 1, times the derivative of our high, 2x, and we subtract from that the high function, x squared minus 1, times the derivative of the low function, 2x. And we put that all over the low function, x squared plus 1, and we square that. So we'll distribute here. We get 2x cubed from here to here, plus 2x, and then we subtract 2x cubed, and then the negatives cancel out to create a positive 2x right here. And then all over the same denominator, we'll keep that there. So the 2x cubes will cancel out because one's a positive, the other's a negative, and we'll just add the two 2x's to create a 4x and keep the denominator, and there is our derivative right there. So now we're going to apply the quotient rule for e's and ln's combined. So we'll jump right in. We have e to the x over ln of 2x. So we have our low function minus times the derivative of our high function e to the x, and then we subtract our high function e to the x times the derivative of the low function, which is 2 over 2x. Since there's a 2 on the numerator and a 2 in the denominator, those just cancel out to create a 1 over x. And then we put all that over the denominator, or the low function ln 2x squared. And this is just rewriting it in a more simplified form, and as ugly as it looks, that's the derivative of that function. So now we'll do kind of like a cumulative review, where we'll use a table of values and substitute them in for both the product and the quotient rule. So over here on the right we have our four values, u, u prime, v, and v prime, all at f of 2, or x equals 2, and here are the values of each respective function. So here we all will jump right in. U times v at f of 2, so we have u v prime times v u prime. So we'll take our v value, we'll take our u value 5, multiply it by the v prime value 2, and then we add our v value and multiply it by the u prime value. So we have 5 times 2 plus -1 times -3. Those combine to create a positive, so we'll have just simply 10 plus 3, and we have 13 for that derivative. And for the quotient rule problem, u over v, so we'll use our quotient rule, v u prime minus u v prime all over v squared. So looking back to the table, our v value right here is -1, and our u prime value is -3. Then we subtract our u and v prime values, 5 and 2, and then we'll put the v value, -1, and we'll square that in the denominator. So after simplifying, we have 3 minus 10 over 1, and that just amounts to -7. And that's just the cumulative review. Thank you all for watching my video on the product and quotient rule, and I hope it was beneficial for you to review some of the concepts we learned earlier in the year.